to another episode of Afrikanzchat. Today we're just gonna talk about polygamy. I know a lot of people, including I would say Christians, most people don't understand what polygamy entails, and most of the times, when you talk about polygamy, I understand most of our sisters don't like about it. But I have a brother of mine here today. His name is Salim. We're gonna talk about polygamy. He has experience, and we want to talk about the mistakes that men do whenever they end up going to the union whereby they have multiple wives. So welcome to Afrikanzchat, Salim.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. Well, let's go straight to the topic, right?
Yeah.
Polygamy. When we want to talk about polygamy, we cannot talk about polygamy without going in the Quran, like reading what Allah says about polygamy, right?
Okay.
And let me just put this out there. Polygamy, minority of Muslims are involved in polygamy, not majority, minority. Most Muslims don't want to do it because there's a lot of do's and don'ts about polygamy. And when you read the Quran, I think Quran 4 verse 3, Allah categorically mentioned that you can have 1, 2, 3, or 4 wives. But the key word in this verse is justice. So if you cannot be just, like you cannot do justice to the women, it's better to stick with 1 wife. That's what Allah said. And people think is men's Allah give us since Allah said we can do it, most men want to do it,
Yeah.
which is not the case. Because if you cannot be just, you cannot do justice to the women, it's better to stay with 1 wife. That's what Allah said.
Okay.
And again, polygamy. Why Allah mentioned polygamy in the first place? We have to look we have to read the ayah and know the meaning why Allah mentioned polygamy. Polygamy came during the Battle of Uhud, when a lot of men died, because a lot of Muslim men died, soldiers died during the Battle of Uhud. That's why Allah mentioned that those people that died and left their wives, kids, daughters and all that, those that have 1 wife can equally marry some of the women, but it's not mandatory. It's not mandatory that they have to do it. It's an optional.
Yeah.
Right. So polygamy. That's one of the reasons why Allah mentioned polygamy in the Quran: 1, 2, or 3 or 4 wives.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It makes sense. So to somebody who doesn't even know about Islam, because I don't think prior to Muslims going into polygamy and having multiple wives, I think it was a thing with certain cultures and tribes, right? So I just want to beautifully you just explained when it comes to the deen, how it started and the reason why. But I just want to the lay person, right? Let's just say I'm a Christian. I'm not trying to understand it from a Muslim perspective, but I just want to understand it in general. Let's just say if I have the desire of adding wives, as a man, what do you think the challenges comes from if I decide? Because I do know that most of the sisters, be it a Christian or Muslim, wouldn't, they're not going to be happy. They're not going to like whatever. But I'm just saying, what should a man do? Since you have an experience, right? What should a man do first? Then, after you answering that, then we'll talk about the things that arrives, the issues, the problems that arise after, going to the union.
As I said, polygamy. Minority of Muslims are involved in polygamy. But first, as a man, if you want to, anyway, you want to have another wife or another wife, you have to be very careful, because, maybe there's a certain things that you do with your first wife and she's okay with it, right? Maybe you can, for instance, right, you can say no to some, if you guys having a discussion and she brought a certain topic, maybe you feel like you're not agreeing with what she said, you can say no to her and she will understand you. Not all the cases, but most of the cases she will understand you. Don't think when you bring a second wife, the second wife will understand you easily. So it's something that
The first wife.
the second wife.
Okay.
The first one will understand it because you know her. You guys have been together for many years. You know how
Okay.
she is. The second wife that you want to bring, probably maybe you know her, but the attitude is not going to be the same. I don't want to use the word attitude, but we are all different. We are all different human beings. Some feel like they want to speak their mind. Some feel like, you know what, they're not going to keep quiet. We are different. Okay? So as a man, if only you want to like participate in those, you want to be polygamous, like have another wife, you have to bear in mind that it's not going to be the same as the first wife. You have second wife, you have to bear in mind that she's not going to be like the same as the second wife. If you want to have extra wives, So my advice to the men out there, Allah didn't like say we have to be polygamous. Like you don't have to be. You don't have to be polygamous in the first place. Not something like we feel like it's our right. Allah give us the right to have multiple wives. No, it's not. It comes with a lot of packages. And if you cannot fulfill those things, those being justice, being honest, being truthful, when it comes to financial wife, try to please all of them, it's better to stay away out of it. Don't even try. Because I'm going to be honest with you, yes, monetary-wise, like financially, is a problem. Emotionally, that's where the problem is also. In polygamy, the women tend to have, let me use the word suffer a lot than the men. We have, it's easy. I have 2 wives, I have 3 wives, but the women go through a lot. In a sense that emotionally, they feel like, okay, when I was with you, we eat together, right? We play together. We do a lot of things together. And all of a sudden, you brought somebody in, your second wife, everything changes. We are humans. It will change. But how do you go about it when it changes? This situation changes. When your first wife feels like you're not doing the right thing. I believe you have to talk to her, make sure you explain everything to her. It's not going to be easy. I'm going to be honest with you. It's not going to be easy, but you can do it. You can talk to her, explain everything to her, and be justice. My word is, the key word is justice. That's me. If you're not going to be justice, it's better to just don't even try.
Quick question, right? Do you think, let's just be realistic, right? As we talk about people not being perfect, do you think most of the times, you could find somebody that could be 100%, fair to let's just say if I have two or 3 wives, do you think I could be fair?
There's some scholars, if I'm not mistaken, that it's a hadith that said Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was like having this thought that he was asking Allah that I did everything. I'm trying to please all of my wives, but it's not easy. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam loves Aisha so much. He loves Aisha. I can tell you, Nana Khadija, her time with Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is because she involved in the deen. She makes sure she financially support the deen and all that. Make sure she is different than Aisha radiallahu anha. It's different. So Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam loved Aisha so much. Even the Prophet having these back and forth emotions when it comes to his wives. Imagine that. So I'm not gonna sit here and say, okay, you know what? It's perfect. You can have multiple wives, you can do it. Man, you are the man. You have money. No, it's not about that. If you cannot be justice to all of them, not 1, not 2. If you have 4 wives, some people say if you buy half, you have to buy house for the first one, the second. Not about the material things. No, emotionally, how to engage with them whenever they are down. Mm-hmm. That's where the problem is. So the key word here is justice. If you cannot be just don't stay with your 1 wife, and I believe you'll be happily married with 1 wife, and probably Allah is not going to be mad at you. And as I said, it's not mandatory to have multiple wives.
Based on that point, right? So, we are men.
Yes.
Let's just be realistic, right? We have desires. I'm not saying women don't. I just want to play the devil's advocate for a minute so that, people will understand. You have desires. And Allah is smart to this. Allah is wise and smart to the extent that He knows His creation. That's why he gave her those opportunities, right? So for a man to have all this desire, I'm not saying the person is perfect, but yet again, you want to have multiple wives. My quick question is, the first might not, be happy with it. But yet again, I just want to understand, do you have to let her know first before you do it? Or you do it after you let her know? And again, I know there's going to be a pushback, based on the question that I'm asking you. Do you, based on your opinion, do you think it's right?
Well, as when you want to add another wife, I mean, when you want to have extra wife, I think, according to Islamically, right, Islamic point of view, you don't have to tell the first wife. You don't have to. But as humans, we humans, that you don't want to hurt your first wife, right? You can tell her. Again, before you tell her, you have to make sure you know who you're telling. I mean, who your wife is. Probably she's not gonna agree with this idea that you want to have another wife. Some will go to extent like doing a lot of crazy things, but some will take it cool. You better know your wife before like going forward and tell her whatever you want to tell her. So if you know your wife, she's not gonna go mad, like she's not gonna go crazy when you tell her you want to another wife. Why not? You can tell her in a way that, but before you tell her, make sure. I mean, like, you don't tell her when you guys have an argument.
Okay.
You don't tell her when you guys having a problem. Like, you know what? I'm gonna have an extra. I don't care what you do. You know what? You're not doing that. You don't do that.
Tell her when, circumstances.
In a way, tell her that. Be honest with her. Like, you know what? I'm not because I want to have another wife. Not because you're doing this or that. I just want to have another wife. I feel like I can take care of another wife. That's why I want to have another wife. I can be justice to both of you guys. That's what I want to do it. You can tell her. You can choose to tell her. But Islamically, Allah doesn't tell us. I mean, it's not. I mean, Islamically, you don't have to tell her that you want to have another wife. But if you tell her, I don't think there's something wrong with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's just say I have strong desires when it comes to women. I have one wife. I don't have the means for, to add another wife, but I have strong desire. So somebody like me, what do you think I should do?
It's funny when you bring this. I remember I was in the car with a gentleman. He's American Christian. He's not a Muslim. So he's like, he came on talking about women, right? Like, man, I'm like, and I asked him, bro, you married, right? He's like, yeah, I have wife, but I have chicks. He said, I have wives, but I have chicks. To him, it's okay to have wife. He agrees that he's cheating, but it's okay to him, like, to have extra chicks beside his wives. Here where I'm gonna, like, I understand. Sometimes maybe you feel like you are desires to have multiple wives. You don't have the means to have another wife. You just want to, like, you feel like you want to do it because maybe you're strong and all that. This is where the women have to meet us. I don't want to use the halfway. They have to meet us. If you know you cannot satisfy your husband sexually, give him the permission to have an extra wife. Give him the permission rather than him going out being with somebody that you're not gonna be happy if you know he's out there chasing another woman. So why don't you give him the permission to have an extra wife, even though if financially he's not like stable to have another wife. You can encourage him, like, keep on going, like, save money, whatever, like something, because here's the case: you cannot please him sexually, and he don't want to go out and do something bad, something crazy that Allah doesn't accept. Why don't you give him the permission to have an extra wife? Financially, if you don't have it, the only thing I can tell you is that, like, be patient, save money. If that's the way you want to go, save money and have extra wife. If not, you have to be patient with your wife and stay with her.
As a man, right? Definitely you could have a wife and she's doing everything right. Right? She's just doing everything right. But a man's nature, I know some people will be like, oh, whatever. But if the option is there, or the freedom is there, I think a lot of men would do it, just like how people get comfortable. So I'm just going off of, a man's nature. In as much as we do have a nature, yet again, you could sit on your, you could, like, control it, just like how they say people should be emotionally, intelligent and all of that. So I'm just saying, right? You might have a woman that she's doing everything right. Maybe sexually she's not playing, but man, you could be sexually intimate with your wife right now, right? And let's just say you leave the house, could see another lady down the street or across the street or whatever, and could have, let's just say she's beautiful, right? You could still have sexual desire. I'm not saying it's right, but I'm just going off of how a man's nature. You could be okay, but you could see somebody and it's gonna, another woman is gonna arouse you too, right? I'm not saying all men are like that, but we kind of like, we're visual. So I'm just saying, if a man like that, right, still the wife is doing everything, but I still have desire for, like, not all women, but I still have this strong desire when he sees a woman. How can, because I'm trying to understand that if the person can't fully, which, going with the dean, I think some people will argue that just like you said, be patient, right? But let's just say if the desire is kind of stronger, what should a man like that do?
That's, as a Muslim, when the reason I keep on mentioning about Muslim, Islam, whatever, because I'm a Muslim, right?
Mm-hmm.
Any action that I want to take, I have to look at the Islam perspective before I take any action.
Okay.
Allah mentioned lower your gaze, in a sense that lower your gaze, that it means don't fornicate.
Mm-hmm.
Simple as that. Somebody who's not a Muslim and feels like, you know what, I have a wife, I want to have an extra, chicks, whatever. I don't know. Polygamy went all the way back in Asia. Like, people are doing it. It's not something that only Muslims are into polygamy.
Yeah.
When you dive into Bible, there's a lot of prophets who are involved in polygamy. The likes of Moses and all that. Solomon and all that. It's not something that only Muslims are doing it. But I'm gonna be honest with you. To my point of view, as a man, if you cannot control your desire, talk to your wife. Probably she will give you the go ahead, to have an extra wife. That's if only you are a Muslim. I know Christians don't agree on that, but even in the Bible, there's no way that categorical mention that you have to have only one wife.
Yeah, I know about that.
It's not even in the Bible. So I don't want to even go there, because again, it's a choice.
Mm-hmm.
It's a choice if you want to do it. Of course, why not? To me, if you have to talk to your wife, talk to her. Probably she will listen to you. Some women will understand that your desire is so strong than her. You don't want to do anything crazy. That's why you tell it. Some will not understand. Some will not even take it lightly. They will like go crazy on you. Like, make sure, like, what you talking about? I'm not gonna like listen to this crap and all that. Yeah. So to answer to your question, I think you have to talk to your wife. If you think you are like, you cannot hold it anymore, you want to like have another wife, why don't you talk to your wife, and probably she'll give you the go ahead and do it.
Okay.
Yeah, she'll give you the go ahead.
Recently, there's a friend of mine, right, where he has a wife, and sadly he wants to add another one, but the way he's treating the first wife, bro, is just, sometimes I think he says it into her face. It just, and that, I think that's, that is where, and I don't know why some of our brothers do that, but yet again, even if you can, the way they approach, right? I think each time that they have an issue, he rubs it in their face. I'm gonna add.
That's not fair. I'm sorry to carry off, but that's not fair. That's where the problem is. Men think we have the right to do it, since Allah said. And as Allah said you have to be just. If you know you cannot be just, don't even try. Okay, maybe your woman, she's acting crazy, right? She's not doing the right thing. Talk to her. But you don't, even if you have that, you want to add another wife, you don't have to be telling her like, I'm gonna add another wife. Your attitude is not good towards the way you speak to me. You don't dress, you do all that. So I'm gonna have another wife, bro. The one that you bring in, you don't even know her, her attitude, how she's gonna treat you.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even know. So why don't you like talk to her? Probably she's gonna change. We are all humans. We're not perfect. Probably you doing the same thing, that like something that is not even right, but because she loves you. She just want to take it. Like, she's not gonna say anything because she loves you. But here's the case where she does something that is not good to you, and you want to bring it up like, you know what, I'm gonna have another wife since you're not doing the right thing. Since I'm gonna bring another. You don't have to tell her. You can do it, but you don't. You can have another wife, but you don't have to tell her.
Based off of what you just said right now, right? There was this story that happened. I think a friend of mine shared it to me where um this man had a wife, right? And he was supporting this wife. And I think they had an agreement where she has to go to school. Then after she's done with everything, then he will go to school, right? So the agreement worked, and she was going to school, but he was the one paying the bills. Uh, on her side, she took student loan to finish her school. I forgot what course she did, but yeah, she took a student loan to wrap up her education. Then now it was his turn. So when he started, um, she didn't allow him to take student loan. She was like, "No, I'm working, and I'm going to support the family and all of that. But don't worry, I got you." So now when he was going to school, she was the one paying the bills and also took student loans.
Okay.
And I think no, she took extra loan somewhere to pay for his tuition and all of that. At some point, it's the attitude, character changes. She felt like something was off. So I think she had to like they say women are aside from an FBI, the best FBI that you could find is a woman.
Exactly.
Yeah. So she did her research. Digging through whatever, and I think later she got to realize that the school that he said he was going, she had to call them. To give his name and all of that. And, it came back that, there was nobody, going to that by that name, enrolled in that institution, right? And mind you, she took like almost $100,000,
Wow.
loan to come to find out that he has another family on the other side of town, right? In this situation, this is, this certain, the certain, this thing happened was, somebody who is a Christian. So let's just, move that scenario and say he's a Muslim. So I think he already has a family, meaning he had a wife before marrying this chick, this woman, right? So what do you think in a situation whereby he's a Muslim, he already had a family on the other side of town. He didn't tell the woman that he married. Let's just assume she's the second wife, but she didn't know. She thought she was the only woman. So in a situation like this, I want to know what wrong did the man, did in that situation? And again, as a woman, do you think she has the right to walk away, file for divorce after knowing that he had a whole family on the other side of town?
Well, I think he made a mistake by lying to her.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can tell her, you know what, I have a wife, not here. Probably maybe the wife is in Africa, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to be my second wife? If she agrees, why not? She can, he can tell her everything. Sometimes women, we think we're smart, but women are up there.
Yeah.
We think we are. I can tell you that you can be one of the best liar. Trust me. If a woman wants to catch you, she will find out you are lying.
Mm-hmm.
It's a matter of time. She will find out that what you're saying is not even true. So I think he's supposed to tell her, you know what, I want to marry you. You're beautiful. I don't know. I have a wife back home in Ghana. I'm a Muslim. It's allowed. Do you want to do it? If she said yes, why not? And also she has the right to walk away if she want to walk away. In Islam, divorce is not a sin.
Mm-hmm.
If she thinks like she's not gonna be happy in the marriage, why not? She can walk away. She don't have to be in that situation. She can walk away. When somebody has a couple of wives,
Yeah.
right? Or maybe one wife, most of the time, men are the one who made a lot of mistakes. And we turn it around
And blame the woman.
blame the women. And trying to like put this on their face, like, you know what, I'm gonna have another wife because you're not doing A, B, or C. But when you sit down and like try to talk to them, men, I'm a man, right? I'm gonna be honest with you. We the problem.
We be messing up sometimes.
We're messing up. I'm gonna be honest with you. We are the problem. But as I said, whatever you want to do, just be honest. You want to have, and also if you want to marry, for instance, if you want to marry, you want to marry a lady, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even if you don't have a wife back home, you don't have. She's the first person that you want to marry. If you're like you have the intention of adding another wife, it's better to let her know. You know what? I love you, but I'm into polygamy. Thinking about maybe I'm not gonna have only one wife, only you. If you can do that, she's not gonna hurt. Some will agree. That's fine. I'm okay with that. Some will not. They will not agree on that. Then why not? Move on. Be honest. When you tell them the truth, trust me, even she will get mad, but she's not gonna go crazy because you've already told her your intention before even coming together, right? Why don't you tell her? You know what? And sometimes they ask this question: do you want to have extra wives? And if the man says yes, some of the ladies are like, they will back up. They're not gonna do it. Some will like, okay, that's fine. I'm a Muslim. Why not? But be honest, be justice to all of us. Make sure you listen to all of us. Make sure you do the right thing to all of us. You know. So I think that's the right way to go about it.
But do you think it's a genuine question, right? When, let's just say, and I want to link it to the deen a little bit. So when you want to marry, like, woman, and she, like, a Muslim woman, a Muslim sister, and she asks you, like, are you into polygamy? Mind you, like, I've not been married before. I'm trying to, right? Try to coach you and all of that to get married. And you ask me that question. Do you think as a man, you could genuinely answer that question whereby you don't even know what you're going to do in the future?
No, you can answer that question. Sometimes I can tell you that you know yourself.
Okay.
Even if you're not married, you have a girlfriend. You still talk to another chicks. In a sense, that's polygamous. Even though it's not married, but since you have a girlfriend, like somebody who knows this is your girlfriend, but you still talk to different chicks, why can't you tell the first lady that, you know what, I'm not gonna be with one wife? You can tell her.
Are you trying to say men are polygamous by nature?
They are.
Okay.
That's the fact. They are. I'm gonna be honest. It's crazy when people said, why will he have 2-3 wives? He has chicks outside there. Yes, trust me. Men are polygamous.
Are you trying to tell me that you've been there before? No, I'm trying to understand
I've been there. I'm gonna be honest with you.
All right.
Sometimes you have wife, right?
Yeah.
Not like going out.
No, not even wife. Like, let's just talk about, like, dating, having a girlfriend. And,
You know what?
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Men, I don't know how to say this, but I feel like we are easy to be we are easy to
be attracted by
be attracted, and also to deviate. Sometimes we tend to, like, look somewhere.
Okay.
Which is not bad. That's who we are, man. You can be with your girlfriend.
You love her genuinely.
Genuinely, you love her. You guys are like man, like nothing can separate you guys.
Yeah.
But the moment you step outside, even though you're honest, even though you're not gonna say, you're not gonna do that. But deep down in your heart, you wish you have that lady too.
I didn't say this. He did. So
no, you wish you have. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah.
That's why, again, let's go back to Islam. Yeah. It says, lower your. In this case, it's not easy. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's not easy. So, men are polygamous by nature. We like everything, especially when it comes to women. We want to be with her. We want to be with her. We want to be with her. It takes one woman or 2 women, to put a man ass down. To cement his ass like he cannot even move. Like, sit down. It's okay.
Meaning, like, right now you have like a handful of,
That's it, you can't move. Some men will, like, stick with one wife. Like, you know what? Because the way she's treating him. The way she's giving, she's giving all the benefits of marriage or the benefits of relationship. She makes sure she treats him right, like a king. Listen to him. Do all that. Some men will, like, understand and stay by her, like, not even moving, like, that's it. I'm not going anywhere. Some men would do that, but that's few compared to, like, other men. It's just a few, not the majority, though. Few.
So, you're saying, right? So when a man has 2 or 3 wives, you think, that alone will cement, the man to, like, he's not going to have eyes,
Not necessarily having 2 or 3 wives, even one wife. It depends, I don't want to use the word 50-50. We have to meet halfway. We don't have to meet halfway. It's nothing like in marriage. It's nothing like meeting halfway. I can tell the men have to bring like 90%, and the lady have to bring 10%. In the sense that this 10%, if it's genuinely 10%, the man is not going anywhere. The word genuinely, like, makes him the king. Respect him. Of course, he respects you. That's why he marries you, right? That's why he makes you his wife. That's why he wants to call you Miss Sadat or Miss Salim, because he loves you. You know. So I believe when the women when the women do their homework right, the men are not going anywhere. They will sit by themselves, by their side, and make sure everything is okay.
Okay,
You know?
but earlier, the question that I asked you, right? I don't think genuinely, right, as a man, because I've been in situations whereby, the person will ask you, and that was, way back where, when conversations like that, because I like to, have conversations, and, some of our sisters will bring it up. And, she wants to know if you're going to add another wife. As at some point, they even want you to sign a contract. So do you think, as a Muslim, now I'm asking you personally as a Muslim, do you think it's right that if you want to marry a Muslim sister, when she asks you that, are you going to sign a contract that you're never going to add another wife prior to you marrying her, will you agree to sign that contract? And knowing that for a fact that it's a privilege that is in your deen, that as a man you can't just say yes I will, whereby you don't even know the future is uncertain, right? You don't even know what you're going to do. So do you think it's right? And when you later go back and do contrary to what you sign, are you in the wrong?
You in the first place, you don't have the right to ask you to sign anything. She can ask you, are you into polygamy? Do you want to practice polygamy in future? She can ask you that. There's nothing wrong with that. You can choose to give her the good answer. You can choose to lie to her. But mind you, if you lie to her, that's the beginning of the problem. If you tell her the truth, she will decide whether she will be with you or not. But to me, there's nothing wrong if she asks you in future, are you going to have multiple wives? There's nothing wrong with that. She can ask you if you want to do that. But again, only few women will do that. Majority of the women will not even ask the husband, like somebody that are you going to have? No, they don't do that. Few will, like some women will ask you, in future, are you going to have another wife apart from me? And if you will, how many wives? Someone will ask, how many wives will you have? Is it going to be 3, 2, or 4? How many? But that you cannot give that like exact answer. You can say, yes, I'm going to be in polygamy and all that. I'm going to have a couple of wives, multiple wives, but I cannot give you the actually number.
Yeah,
you can tell her that, and again, it's up to her if she wants to be in that relationship, she wants to be with you. And I can tell you, a man can say, yes, I'm going to have multiple wives in future. Now, the lady, she have to make sure the man put everything down and be with her. How will she do that? By make sure she does everything. Make sure she makes him happy. Yeah. If she makes him happy, I'm sure he's not gonna have another wife.
Yeah,
I'm sure about that.
Some sisters will argue. They will say they've done everything right, but yet still, not even adding another wife. Some of these brothers are out here in the streets, bro.
You know. The thing is, some women, for some reason, they think they're doing everything right. Mm-hmm. But when you keep on asking them questions, you realize they're not doing everything right. Communication is the key. Not a lot of talks. You can be nagging, speaking a lot of things, trying to, I want to talk to you. No. The way you communicate with your husband, what time, at what mood he is. What time do you want to communicate with her? What are you talking about? What do you want to communicate with husband about? Is it about money? If it's about money, what time? And also, women, it's crazy because sometimes when you listen to these women, they will like, I do everything to him, but he still cheats. Now,
what do you think? Yeah, what do you think is the issue on that? If you think genuinely she's doing everything, or maybe she's not.
She's not doing everything.
Okay.
But to her, she's doing everything. To her, she's doing everything. I'm not saying some women are not doing it. Some women are doing everything, but yet the man will still go out there and do crazy stuff. But majority of the women, they think they did everything to the husband or to the man, but he still will go out there and fucked up. Excuse my French. Mm-hmm. That's the reality. You know, we men, we are big on respect, right?
Mm-hmm.
Respect is everything to us. Everything. The way you talk to us, man, a man will like consume respect like we love respect especially from our wives.
Our wives, yeah.
You know, I was watching this lady on YouTube, and she said in the house, one's supposed to be fire. Whenever there's a fire, you're supposed to be the water.
Yeah.
And the woman's supposed to be the water, not the husband. I'm going to be honest with you. They're going to say it's 50-50. No. Listen. If you want your husband to like be happy and all that, make sure always be the water. Like, try to be the water to quench the fire. When there's a fire in the house, try your best. Eventually, he will try to learn from you. Whenever you try to like quench the fire and all that, he will learn not to even start the fire in the first place.
Yeah.
You know, so that's my advice. Women think they do everything, but the man still go out there and cheat. But when they sit down and make sure, like, okay, what did I do wrong? Like, ask yourself this question. You will come to a conclusion that you're not doing everything right. You know, one of the things that women do when they are good in doing is they try to explain themselves whenever something is going on. And that, for instance, right, I came to the house and I'm like, did you go and pick the kids up? And the only thing she can say is, oh, I'm sorry, I thought you would pick them up. Let me go and pick them up. That's fine, fair enough. That's fair answer, right? But some lady will like, oh, I'm doing something. I thought you don't have to bring all that. Of course you're doing something. If he comes home and you didn't go and pick the kids up, you can tell him, you know what, I thought you would pick the kids up, but that's fine. Let me go and pick them up. And I can tell he was like, you know, that's fine, but let me the man will like,
them up, yeah.
let me go and pick them up. So communication, don't try to explain yourself too much in marriage especially. And even in relationship, don't try to explain yourself too much. When you do that, I don't know how to say it. Men feel like, okay.
It becomes combative. Yeah.
That's the word. You know, if men feel like, okay, why she always wants to explain herself? Why she always wants to explain herself? You know, it's crazy, but that's the fact. I mean, some women were like, man, what is this guy talking about? But that's the fact. You know, it's better to stay calm, listen, even though if you are right, still stay calm, listen to your husband or listen to your boyfriend. Trust me, men are like a baby. Mm-hmm. We are like a baby. If women knows how to treat us, that's it.
You'll get the best of you, right?
They will get the best of you.
Okay.
Yep, they will get the best of you.
Just so coming to the end of the show, I just this brother, right, that had a wife. I'm not in support with what some of our brothers are doing, but yet again, it's just I hear stories. Sometimes I think sometimes the women are fabricating it, but until it hit home, and I realized that some of our brothers they just be messing up. You wanna not even adding, but dude was out here cheating. But the crazy part about it is, if you're cheating, why are you treating the wife, the woman that you have, so-called wife, why are you treating her shitty? You get it? On a regular, what you're doing is wrong. But let's just say you're doing it. Okay, fine, Hallis. But here's the case. You're doing it, and you're treating the first wife shitty. And as a man, I know sometimes what we do that is very, very wrong is we don't want to divorce a person or let the person go. But yet again, we want to treat the person shitty until she gets fed up and say she's leaving. So that sometimes, at some point we flip it on them and say she left.
She left.
You get it? So basically, this is what the guy was doing. It was not doing everything right. And it's just sad that at some point you wonder, you call this, you saw her, you loved her, whatever it is, you married her. But here's the case. You found somebody, on the other side. Maybe, she looks beautiful than your wife. Whatever it is. I don't know. But why do you have to treat the first wife shitty?
That's again, as I said, women go through a lot in marriage. They go through a lot. Let's be honest with each other. Some women, they can't even say a word in their home. They can't even bring anything up. They can't even talk to their husband in a peaceful way. They cannot. You went out there, saw somebody, dating the person, and come home and treat your wife bad. And the crazy part is sometimes they even tell their wives, you know what, I have somebody back outside there. Man, the crazy part is I quite remember, a guy went out and find a lady, and he brought the lady home. Told his wife that, you know what, I'm going to marry her. Even though they're not married yet, it's a big house. So he
brought that lady to the house?
Home. The lady have her separate room. He shared rooms with these ladies. His wife and the girl on the street, excuse me, because she's on the street, she's not married
it's not legit, it's not halal. So
it's not halal yet. This is crazy. This is what women are going through. It's not right. You don't love her, let her go. Just let her go.
Based on this is not coming from the dean, right? This is just somebody doing his thing. Yeah.
You cannot, even if you are a Muslim, Christian, whatever.
Yeah.
A mistake is a mistake.
Yeah.
The deen is there, of course, the religion is there. But we human, that's the nature of ours. Humans, we have our own problems, especially when it comes to our wives, husband, whatever, between us. But again, women are going through a lot in marriages. Small portion of men go through a lot in marriages. Especially in Islam, in our culture back home in Africa, when woman married, she's locked. That's it. We have the chance
to do a lot of things compared to
of things. Yeah. Why stress her out? Why, break her down? Why makes her cry every night? Why? There's a lot of why. When you sit down, you ask yourself, like, come on, man. It's not right. You go outside there, you cheat, whatever. You come home, make sure she's happy.
Yeah.
Make sure you do everything to make her happy. Because you're not doing the right thing else. You're cheating on her. Make sure you make her happy. Try to smile, like play with her. Smile and all that. Even though you're doing the wrong, I'm not saying go do that. Like, I'm not saying go out and cheat and come home and be nice to your. I'm not saying that. Even if you're doing that, it's between you and Allah. You cheating, Allah will know how to deal with you, or God will know how to deal with you with that. But when you come home, make it a better place for your wife.
Yeah. I just want to say this before we wrap the show: is a lot of times, right, as men, we do things, and just this conversation today is not about bringing any woman down. It's just about the mistakes that we men do, and especially when it comes to polygamy. Most men don't even have multiple wives, but yet again, when it happens, it's almost like, on the other session that I had, I said it wasn't easy until I became a man that I understand the plight of men, like our fathers. What they've been through, right? So again, it's not easy as I would say family men or maybe adults, whereby once you have kids, and I'm talking about a female child, that's when some of us as men tend to we pay attention to women, and because at the end of the day you have a daughter. So look at yourself, look at your reflection in the mirror. Do you want a woman, do you want your daughter to be with a man like you, or not even a man like you? Do you want your daughter to be with a man out there that for a fact what some of our brothers be doing? So I think at some point we reflect on, in as much as sometimes we might banter, not agree with certain things that some of our, sisters or, women are saying, but yet again, when you become a father and you have a daughter, you get scared at some point, knowing that, the evil that men do.
Comes
all the kind, yeah. So, I don't know if you have final words before we end the show.
My final word is, as a young man, right? Or somebody who have wife, he wants to add another wife. Remember that verse in the Quran talks about justice, and that verse, when you read all the way down, it says, if you cannot be just, stick with one. Stick with one, please, because wallahi, when the time comes, the judgment time comes, some men will go through a lot of things because the way they treat their wives, so-called wives. Some of us men, we have only wife. Now we want the title, like, I have multiple wives. But when you go their houses, it's a mess. So my advice to the men is, please, if you know you cannot be just, You cannot do the justice. Just stick with one wife. Don't even try and stress yourself having an extra wife, whereby you know, deep down, you know, you cannot do that justice. Stay with one wife. That's my final.
And again, adding up, and if you can't add wives and you have a wife and you're cheating, what are you supposed to do?
You don't have to cheat in the first place.
No, I'm just saying, if you're doing, what are you supposed to do to the,
Ask
the first?
Allah for forgiveness.
Again, if you're doing what you just said, if you can, you just be just, right? If you can't be just, don't do it.
Don't do
but
it.
let's just say you're doing it.
Yes.
You're not married, it's not halal. How are you supposed to treat your wife?
Good.
Okay.
Treat her very good. And you know what? I can tell you, some women, they love honesty. Be honest to her. Trust me. Be honest to a woman. I'm sorry, my wife. I love you. But I think I have these feelings that I can have an extra wife. Are you okay with that? I love you. Allah knows I love you. But I met somebody outside that I think she can be my second wife. 70% of women, 70% will say, no problem. Can I see the lady? They just want to approve. Even though they are not in the position to approve anything. But if the first wife opened their heart for the second wife, you become one of the happiest men on earth.
Are you saying this out of experience?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes. When the first wife sees the second wife as a sister, trust me, you will be happy. Very happy. But when the first wife, sees the second wife as a rivalry or an enemy, that's where the problem is.
Interesting.
You know, again, Allah didn't say marry 4 wives. Marry 4 wives with there's something in that justice. You cannot do it. Just leave it. Just stick with one wife. That's it.
Yeah.
Stick with it. So that's my advice.
Okay. Thank you, Salim. I appreciate you passing through.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
We're gonna do this some other time.
Hopefully.
All right.
Hopefully.
Guys, you're welcome. If you're new to the channel, can you please subscribe, like the video? The likes is gonna push the videos far, and support the channel. Thanks for watching, and we're gonna come back again.